Hey everybody! So this week, instead of a TLDR addiction, I wanted to cover a topic that's something that's very meaningful to me and that I think is critical in terms of being able to bring your ideas into reality, and that's how to communicate effectively in a public forum. This is something that I've been doing a lot recently, but was something that wasn't always easy for me, actually. I used to be terribly anxious whenever I would get up in front of an audience, and it was only through a lot of repetition, kind of good old-fashioned exposure therapy that I got through it. But in that process, I've really seen the power in being able to be in front of an audience of people who are interested, and then kind of take that fire and grow it and turn it into something that blossoms. So I just want to share two things with you that I've found have been really helpful in terms of helping my ideas land, because a lot of people get really in their head about public speaking, don't know how to do it effectively. And while there's certainly a lot of different nuances that can be useful in terms of like how you put together a presentation, and have a logical chain throughout a talk, there's two core things that I think are at the center of really good public speaking. The first one is just let your passion show. If you come across as bored, your audience is going to be bored. If you care about a topic, if you're on fire for a topic, that's the thing to talk about, and let it out. I think a lot of times people are either very reserved or they let anxiety get in their way of really expressing themselves. But if you think about any art or movie or a TV show, something that's really gripped you, it's because it grabs you by the feels. It takes your emotions. It takes your emotions and moves them someplace. It moves you. And so you want to try to move an audience. You really want to try to tell a story that grabs onto someone. And the best thing to harness is the force that put you up on that stage in the first place. The second thing that I throw out there as being really important is putting the audience first and not making your talk about you. So a lot of times anxiety can come from the place of being like, I'm worried that I'm going to screw up, or what's this going to do for my career, or this is my big moment, or that it's a reflection on you. And if you can kind of put those feelings aside, which are natural, but if you can put them aside and instead think, how can I add value to my audience? How can I be a vehicle for these ideas? Because I believe in these ideas and I want to be an instrument for their success. If you can make that shift where your talk is not about you. Again, I know it sounds kind of counterintuitive, but your talk could not be about you, but can instead be about the ideas, that puts you in a place of giving and trying to help an audience and being in almost like a servant sort of spot. You are there to serve the audience. They aren't there to serve you in some way that you're thinking about yourself. And so if you can do those two things, if you can really put your passion on display, if you can get behind your message, and if you are able to put the audience first and not make the talk about you or inflating your ego or anything like that, I think what you'll find is that a lot of the talks that you give will land much better. The content, of course, matters, but the spirit behind the content comes through and speaks volumes if you can really just tap into that place of passion and generosity. So I hope this has been helpful. I know that this orientation has been really helpful for me. Take those ideas and get them out there. There's so many great thoughts that you all have that if you're able to put them out there on display, if you're able to communicate them effectively, can really change the world in a positive way. So thanks, guys, and I'll look forward to talking to you again next week.